Hi guys, hope everyone is well. I just wanted to record some thoughts because these days hospitality has been going through tough times, and I guess hospitality stories as an idea was trying to spread some positivity, and it was supposed to be a mini series, but the response has been so great that I have lined up to 10 speakers, I think. So the idea was to break through the darkness. I mean, we've got more ideas, and I hope in the future we'll create the another mini series called Hospitality Mythbusters, which is going to be a little bit more humorous. Um, but I want to go back to the reason for this video, and I'm going to try and keep it honest and see where we go from there. Now, I think that leaders are created in times of necessity, and warriors emerge in times of need. So this has been probably the toughest period we have ever experienced for hospitality colleagues in industry or academia. I mean, don't get me wrong. It made me think that it almost feels like we are in as close of a war scenario as we could ever be. I mean, the lightest possible war scenario, let's be honest, but as close as we could be, nevertheless. Um, Now you may think it's easy for me to talk because you think, he's an academic and he's got his job is secure. But I don't think people outside academia have realized how many colleagues have remained redundant. Myself, in the last 2 years alone, I've lost so many good colleagues from universities around the country, from even my own place of work. Some colleagues have taken early retirement because um, they had enough, and enough is enough. And if they could do it, so why not? I mean, I have seen a decade of my hard work being thrown in the bin, and often hospitality being considered a weakness to the point that I have to disguise my work sometimes with word that makes sense to those that do not understand what hospitality industry really is. And if I was 10 years older, maybe I probably would decide enough is enough too. I don't know. But in my mind, I'm not that old just yet. I probably will never be that old. I always say there's Peter Pan and there's Jan is Jan. Um, I think I still have enough fight in me, and I think so do you. And you might not know it. And I want you to think of yourself as a hospitaller. It's a notion that has recently been hitting me more and more. Hospitaller with one L. If hospitallers with two L's, they were an order of knights in medieval times, and they had a lot to do with hospitality. Their job was to take care of the wounded and protect the weary. And actually, the order in modern times still exists in Malta, I believe. They don't carry a sword anymore. They don't call themselves hospitallers with double L. Um, and the funny thing is, I recently discovered that the original Hospitallers, I always knew they had a castle in Rhodes, Greece, where I come from. I come from Leros, and that's a tiny island. And one of the last battlements and one of the small castles was actually in Leros. So they, um, funny that they lived. Some Hospitallers lived on the island where I come from. So who knows? Maybe me becoming a hospitaller with one L was always in my destiny, and why one L? Um, I think there's a lot of warriors amongst you, and I want to call you hospitallers with one L. But let's go back to you, because I get so many students telling me how they feel, and that the industry is in not a very good shape. I mean, I even get industry colleagues telling me that their mind health is not what it used to be. So I guess this is a message for hospitality students, for graduates and professionals out there. We all understand that this has been the most challenging period for hospitality in any country, not just the UK. And we've seen hundreds, if not thousands, of hospitality colleagues being made redundant. And, the future might still look bleak. We don't even know what the winter will bring. But there is a lot of hope. I'll try to explain how I see this rays of hope. Uh, Now, you know, and I know that hospitality is not just about making money. In my mind, it is a noble profession because we look after people. We look after people, both our customers and our staff, and almost everyone I ever met in my career, either in the industry or in academia, they're in it because of their love and passion for seeing the joy in the eyes of the customers. Um, so you may be finding yourself made redundant, or you're about to graduate with a hospitality degree, and you might think what's going to happen and feel frightened about what the future may hold. And I say, I don't think you should be afraid. I think you should dispel that fear and consider also the positive things that have happened to hospitality in the last few months. You might say, positive, Yanis? What are positives? Bear with me. Now, the thing is that people across the world have realized that the hospitality is extremely important for well-being and for mental health. I mean, the simple act of eating, just eating out, or just change the scene and just go for a drink, go to a bar, go dancing in a nightclub, the joy of listening to your favorite artist, going to a festival. All of that has been missed so much by normal people that it reminded people that without hospitality, life is like a meal that is badly seasoned. And we might need the hard sciences to make sure that we're still alive. We might need doctors to be alive. But a colleague of mine at a recent panel said, all the other stuff. We need the hard sciences to keep us alive, but all the other stuff that make life worth living. And that's what hospitality is. It makes life worth living. So consider that. And when you start realizing that hospitality is more appreciated, more talked about than ever before, and then I think you should just consider what you should do for yourself to feel stronger, especially if you've been made redundant and some of you might be feeling in such a dark place. And I think one of the ways you can work through this madness is to try and seek out knowledge and upskill. I think that's the right path. I think employers will want to know what you've been doing during those idle months if you didn't have any job. So try to retrain, reskill, upskill, create small projects and experiment. The key, I think, is to ensure that no day passes without you being productive and being able to tell yourself that you achieved something. I mean, if it's not learning new skill, and there's lots of free seminars and webinars. I myself have attended just this week alone, in the whole madness of work. I managed to multitask and attend a few seminars and webinars here and there. The Institute of Hospitality has a good webinar series. There's been the Hospitality Summit by Saudi Arabia. I mean, there's been some amazing speakers. And just this week alone, and we had Mentor Day on Tuesday, so there's been a lot about that as well. So think what you can do. Can I learn a new skill? Can I help my local community with my current skills? I mean, some of you have amazing skills and you might even be creative, but you can help a charity, you can volunteer, you can make bread, you can do the shopping for a vulnerable neighbor. Whatever you do, think of the skill you can add to your CV as well. So that when the time comes, you tell your future employer that maybe the majority of people were watching TV, fearful of a future, that politicians were making out to be super bleak. But you were out there on the field, either physical field or the digital field, and you were creating a hopeful future for yourself and others. And at the end of the day, if you feel that No employer would listen if your dream job feels too far away to reach. I mean, why not create your own dream job? I mean, I'm hoping, no, I'm not hoping, I'm predicting that the time post-COVID will be the golden era for hospitality entrepreneurs. I mean, we know that small businesses have always been the backbone of the hospitality industry. And you, my friend, you have a golden opportunity for creating a new future for you. I'm Dr. Pantelidis, and I'm a born and raised hospitaler with one L. I guess that's a new word now, borrowed from an old word. Um, Hospitalers were an order of knights, and I think you also belong in an order of warriors. You are a warrior of hospitality that carves your path with dedication and passion for the most beautiful profession societies have known for centuries, hospitality. And your sword is your knowledge and skill, so practice it and then go out there and shape your own luck. Good luck, my friend.